Hello, everyone. This is Linda Ferguson, and
I'm Bruce Whitey, last I checked.
yes, you are, and Bruce Whitey, and we'd like to welcome you to another episode of Encore Life, your show about boomers coming from our office, which is Secure Financial Services. This is sort of a lighthearted look at life in your final innings. After you've retired or you're looking at retirement, we're going to talk about living as a boomer today.
It's the encore. It's like when you finished everything that was on the plan, but now you're coming out and you're taking another bow.
There you go. That's us.
Yeah.
So, I looked in the mirror the other day, Bruce, and I'm like, all right, I have to say it out loud.
I really try to avoid that.
What?
I really try to avoid that. I mean, you have something to look at in the mirror. Me, I'm going to avoid that.
But the point is, we got to say it out loud. We're all getting older. I mean, it's an unavoidable thing. No matter what else is going on, the truth is, if we can look in the mirror and we're a baby boomer, we've hit that point of we're getting older, or we are officially old. Even though we don't feel old.
I don't know. Dude, can I call you dude?
Dude. Yes, you can call me dude.
I'm having a ball. Thursday night, I saw Graham Nash. Haven't seen...
Bruce, we don't want a lot more people moving here.
Oh.
Bruce and I work together at Secure Financial Services, which Bruce has been providing financial services to people for how long now, Bruce? How long has it been?
I've been doing this for 30 years.
30 years. All right. In 30 years, many original clients.
It's a very interesting perspective. That is germane to your topic here.
Yeah,
having done it for 30 years, because when I started, I drove a little Dodge Neon around, tried to not let my shoes be too scuffed. And I was selling life insurance to people in their 30s and 40s because they were young families, and I sold life insurance, and that was the thing.
Sure.
And then I've had TV shows. I did some work for corporations and people in business, and I did retired people. I did people that were trying to multiply their equity and all that. But the point is that over the years, I've usually worked with my cohort, like the people that are of my generation.
Right.
And now look where I am. And I remember thinking when I was 40, I don't know what, I must have been 40. I wasn't quite 40. Like when I was 40, I'm like, well, I can't talk to like retired people because they're too old. They won't respect me. I don't have any gray hairs, And, my whole cohort's moved on, and I've just watched from like, oh, we have kids, we're working, we need life insurance. Oh, okay, I'm saving some money. How can I do that in the most tax efficient way? Oh, we've garnered money. Now we have to spend it. How do we know what to spend? Oh, we might need long-term care insurance. Can we still get that? To like, now it's like, look, I don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't want my wife to have to deal with this. And now I've got all these wonderful things in place, and all I want to do is just simplify my life.
You've had 30 years of experience dealing mainly with people of the same generation. And then the older you've gotten and time's gone on, what that equates to is a hell of a lot of experience. And in an industry, which is financial services industry, evolves and changes literally every year, few years. Tax laws evolve and change annually. And then investments evolve and change constantly. A lot of moving pieces of which you have a ton of experience. So what I wanted to talk about, one of the things that is how our office has evolved, really because of the problems that I see you going through all the time in trying to service the clients, many of whom have been with the office for almost 30 years, right? a lot of them. So there's something called a virtual family office, which I want you to just tell people what that is and why our office is specializing in that now.
Well, when you start to work across either the changing life needs through time of a family, or you start to get kids and older folks, and you now have multiple generations. There's not just one thing to do in financial services. I mean, some people have really put a shingle out on their door and that they just do portfolio management. But somewhere people are going to be thinking about their estate plan. And estate planning even has changed tremendously. Estate plans in the past have been, how do I just dump everything on the kids? How do I just keep it out of probate and then the kids dump it and then I'll be gone and I'll worry about it? Well, that's changing too. People are really starting to think more about how can I imbue my values and my smarts and how things are built along with the wealth. There's been a few tax changes. For example, it used to be, and bear with me, this will tie in together if it sounds like I'm going in disparate directions. But used to be with an IRA, for example, that when you inherit an IRA, you can set the withdrawal pace to your new age. So if your parents were withdrawing it rapidly because they were older per the rules, but now you're younger, you could readjust that. Can't do that anymore. Children, whether they're 30, 40, or 50, they got 10 years to pull an IRA apart. So you look at like estate planning is changing in that regard. People don't want to just dump wealth on future generations because the actual stats, and I have a PowerPoint on this, I've gone over with clients, the actual stats are something like 79% of inheritances are gone in one generation. They don't make it to the next generation. So that awareness is starting to creep into it. And that in of itself is changing. And people are kind of pulling away from just probate avoidance trusts and going into dynasty trusts. Dynasty trusts are meant to be multi-generational and to imbue your values to be inherited along with your wealth. And as part of using the wealth, you have to incorporate. So that's one thing. So now you've got, if you look at all these different practices, I need someone to manage my portfolio. I might need some insurances. Life, annuity, or long-term care. I might need an estate plan, a good attorney that can really help me plan things. And then you get younger people, for example, who are making really good money right now, and tax planning has come into the arena of financial services. Get my taxes down, because a CPA is backward looking, looks at the records and then tells you what you owe, but they haven't been strategists looking forward looking. So now we've had to do this in financial services. And then you might just have someone who says, hey, I'd be a great client of yours, but I'm having struggles with my business. So there's 5 main areas. There is legal and trust planning. There is portfolio management. There's risk management and insurance aspects. There is tax mitigation, and then there's business advisory. So these days, if you don't have a way to incorporate all of those things, you're going to lose client share. And someone's always going to be poaching to tell your client that there's a better way to go. So what we've developed now is, rather than me having to know all those things and be an expert at all of those, we've built a network. Right now, we've got about 72 specialists that we call it. And my job has changed. My job is not any longer just take care of everything for this client and make sure my job is to build their team. When they come in, we do a whole, part of it's computerized, part of it's just a conversation, a whole assessment of what are all the issues that we have to take care of. And people are, as we've aged, the issues change. So time is a factor that changes issues. So we figure out where they're at, what all the issues are, whether they need to get their taxes down tremendously. And I'd love to tell you stories on that if we have time in this episode, or we'll do it on another episode. But I'll give you examples of like this tax mitigation runs from young business owners that are getting clobbered to older people that are simply trying to come out of some old investments and they got capital gains problems. They're going to have to send hundreds of thousands of dollars off to the government. There are required minimum distributions. So tax planning even has different phases. But all of these things together need to be woven. And I'm telling you, the most money is lost by having all these separate advisors and they don't talk to each other. It is the space between the advisors that money and wealth is lost more than it is any one advisor doing a lousy job. It's the fact that they don't talk to each other. So we've built virtual family office models so that my job is to build the team, keep the team coordinated, and come up with our clients. Usually we do quarterly meetings to just keep moving forward in a coordinated manner with the 3 to 5 different advisors that we may be putting together for them. And we make sure they all talk and they all basically report to the client in a coordinated manner. We've had to do that just because time has dictated that things change in someone's life. And there's not one thing that they need. They need a spectrum of things.
Okay, good. So I'm going to roll it back just a little bit. When Bruce is talking about a virtual family office and a stable of experts that typically from our office will be the ones that concierge. And typically it's always Bruce.
That's my job. And that's a lot. That is a lot of work, believe it or not. It is still, I mean, we'll do it another episode, but I would love to give you case stories of clients. Like, what's it like to be a client of ours? And I could tell you, maybe on a future show, we might get a client on, and he can tell you the saga of what it's like to be a client of ours and to have the clients can't do this. They can't manage that many experts on their own. It would drive them crazy. It is a job to do.
So let me roll it back to when we're talking about a virtual family office and why you would want to implement that. You would be a person that has a sizable portfolio of complex things. So when someone comes into our office, the very first thing that happens is we just have a conversation. And the conversation pretty much is, where are you at? What do you have? What are your goals? What have you already taken care of? And what do you still need? And it's a perspective that's done when either Bruce or I talk to you. It's really generally talking to you. So some people come in and they're much simpler. They haven't owned a business. They've amassed some money. They're about to retire. And what Bruce used to specialize in was what was called a retirement roadmap, meaning, do you have enough money to retire and live the life you want for the length of time you want?
And we still do that. I've still got clients left and right that we're doing that for, of just helping them figure out how to move from that phase of life where they've accumulated, and now they have to plan. I'm going to actually step away from work. Your hubby is one of them we did work with.
That is my hubby.
What you doing?
And I will tell you what he's doing right now, right this very moment as we're recording this, is he has officially retired. And now he's having a conversation with the annuity that Bruce set up for us on turning on the income from that, because he's no longer going to get a regular paycheck. So we have already in place the plans that we put together to support our lifestyle going on using a combination of investments and annuities. So
and pension and Social Security.
And Social Security. All of those things.
You have to weave all those things together. Yeah, it's not like everybody needs to have an annuity. They have a certain role. They're an important role for increasing income, so that either an asset base can be left alone. You won't have to sell assets off. They increase income. But anyway, the point is, there's all kinds of different points that go into it. But that stage of life where all you've been doing is accumulate, you have to realize your mindset is now changing to like, spend your money, spend it, get rid of it. You know, You know this, we've done seminars where I go to the room and I say, how much money do you want to have left at the day that you die? And if they get really serious, they go, well, I don't know. I'd like to leave 500 to my kids. I got to have enough to make sure. And then once they tweak on it a little bit, they're like, $10. It's all I want to have left is $10 because you want to spend your money. So it's no longer accumulate it and accumulate it. Even if think about it. This is the best time of your life. It should be the best time. It should be the most celebratory time of your life. So why not make as much freedom for yourself to spend everything you could dream of spending and not look back if it's done well? But it's a change of mindset. And I'm telling you, I've seen some of the wealthiest people not be able to make that change of they're still living like paupers because that's just accumulate, and they're not ready to actually take on spend. But
They don't know.
it's a different
They
math.
don't know how to do it. They don't have a plan for the encore part of their life. That is a conversation we're having with you today.
That's the retirement roadmap. It's a simple free service we do just to map it out.
That's right. So if you'd like a conversation about what's next, and you've been putting that part of your life off, eventually you'll get to it. We're going to ask you to take the eventually out of your life, and you can give us a call, and I will have the numbers to reach us at. Well, you can give them your number. I've got my number. What's your number, Bruce?
I would recommend to use 888-882-5578, 888-882-5578. I'm working through these sort of cloaking devices and we get so much spam these days. If for any reason that doesn't go straight to the correct voicemail, you can just try to hit my mobile number straight, which is 818-434-4946, 818-434-4946. But you may get a more appropriate email on the first number, 888-882-5578.
That's great. All right. Our contact information, I will put it at the end of this episode, including how to reach out to me. And I want to open the doors so that call us, book an appointment. Let us help you with that next chapter of your life. And to answer the question on what's next, what do you need to know to make an informed decision? And whether it's a virtual family office solution, whether it's a retirement roadmap, whether it's do I have enough insurance for my family should something happen to me, you can give us a call. All right. And with that, Bruce, anything more you want to say?
Let's do some future shows where we talk about client cases, how they run, and illustrate the course of them. And then let's do some future shows where we just talk about our generation. That'd be fun.
Our generation. That sounds good. All right.
Let me talk about my generation.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. We will see you again in our next episode. Take care.